So hi everyone, my name is Renee Morel, because I'm bilingual, French and English. I'm a QHHT Level 2 Practitioner, Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique, which is a technique developed by Dolores. And I'm a Level 2 Practitioner based in the province of New Brunswick in Canada. And today we're going to talk about the workshop that I've put together called Connecting with Your Higher Self. It's based on a group regression that Dolores developed, which is different than the one-on-one QHHT session. And I've been doing this session, these workshops live, but now because of the situation we're in everywhere around the world, QHHT official has given us permission to do some of these workshops online. So just to talk about how the workshop works, I've invited Kayla Paradis, who attended one of my live workshops last month. So I'm just going to send it over to her and have her tell her a little bit about herself. And there you go, Kayla.
Thank you, Renee, so much for having this interview. I'm so excited to be here. So my name is Kayla Paradis, and I'm a yoga teacher in Grand Falls, New Brunswick. And I help women connect to spiritual awakening and also to their intuition without fear. And so I am a spiritual person, and I feel connected to accessing my higher self. I feel comfortable with that. And but I really wanted to meet Renee, and I really wanted to experience her workshop because I was having a lot of dreams, and I thought that this would help me connecting to my higher self with Renee's help through the group regression experience would help me to understand what I was dreaming about and just kind of go deeper with it. So my intention going in was to understand my subconscious more and understand the sort of like prophetic type of dreams I was having that I felt was kind of foretelling for what was going to be coming in the coming months, which is what we're experiencing now. So that was the intention when I went. But what I ended up experiencing is a little bit of that, but I also connected to the soul of my husband. And I ended up experiencing this beautiful twin flame subconscious connection with my husband that I wasn't expecting. And I'm so grateful for that because ever since then, I've been having these dreams with my husband's soul and working out these different like karmic patterns and things that I've been carrying since childhood. And I've been able to look at it from a completely different perspective. And it's brought so much healing to my relationship. And it's honestly amazing.
That's cool. Just wanting to mention a little bit about everybody experiences differently. So this workshop, the Connecting with Your Higher Self workshop that I've developed around the past group regression experience, is small groups, 5 to 15 people, but now we're doing it online. So I actually did my first online session today. And that was a little different than the in-person experience, but it's a bit of the same thing. So the way that it works is we do some visualization exercises, some practice exercises to kind of put the left brain on pause and to access the right side of the brain, which is the part where we access when we dream and when we visualize, and it's the one that's connected to source and the one that's connected to your intuition, and it's the wise part of us that has all the answers, because we live in a 3D world, right? So, we're in this survival mode of analyzing and rationalizing. And so these workshops are kind of set up to give people like a kind of a taste of this, and because people find out what hypnosis is, they're not exactly sure what hypnosis is, and it's just a very deep level of relaxation. So maybe talk a little bit about your experience with the visualization and what you were expecting at the beginning, and what your experience was when you were doing it.
hmm So we were talking about before we started in our session, you were explaining the different things that could come up, including like past life experiences and different things like that. So basically, we all got comfortable in sort of like a meditative position where we were seated on our cushions or however you were comfortable. And then Renee was just walking us through this experience, through this journey. We're just kind of dropping into it. And the amazing thing is that your own subconscious creativity kicks in, and so going into it, I was expecting to experience some type of journey. I was definitely expecting, some type of guide or maybe like a angelic being or something to step forward for me, because that's typically what I work with when I do work with my clients. That's what I was expecting. But to have the whole experience be centered around my sort of quantum relationship with my husband that I wasn't fully like aware of or grasping was deeply healing. And it was just in the process of 20 minutes, and we experienced this little vision where we go in and we look at our body. First off, I found that very interesting. We look down at our feet, we look at our body, and we decide or figure out if we're actually in the same physical form as we are here in reality, which I was actually in a different physical form. And I think a lot of people in the group also experience that as well, where you're actually in a different body, but yet still recognizing that it's your soul. And so that's a really cool experience in itself. And then we go through and we do like the first day, an important day, and the last day of our journey, and kind of explore it on that level. It was really, really cool.
Yeah, and it's different for everybody. And some people do experience,
Mhm.
have a past life regression experience during the group regressions, and other people go to scenes from their present life, and other people go to different dimensions, or they just, your soul speaks to you in metaphor sometimes, so you don't really necessarily have to believe in past lives in order to have this type of experience. The important thing is to tap into the part of you that's wise and that knows things, right? So the other thing
Mhm.
that I do during the workshop is give you some ideas about how to stay connected to, a lot of people who come in have already been on a spiritual journey and already have some meditation tools, or um, we also do a little bit of automatic writing. Um, so it's an interesting way to kind of open the channel. So it's interesting for people who want a taste of what a QHHT session is like. It's a bit different because QHHT, we do it one-on-one and it's in person. We don't do it over the internet. But these little group regressions now, because we can't physically sit in front of each other and do it, is still giving us an opportunity to do that and to do a journey. My group regressions online are small, 3 to 5 people, so we have time to share. And it was really interesting this afternoon with the group that I did in French. So I do these in French and in English. So um, we just said we talk a little bit about the interesting times that we're in. It seems that we're on pause. What's your take on it, Kayla? How are you coping these days?
Yeah, well, I definitely feel like we're in a definite reset, and we're experiencing different types of collapse and reform, and we're looking at our world in a completely different way. And that's the beautiful thing about doing these QHHT group regression experiences. And if you make yourself explore that and be curious and open yourself up to that, you'll start to experience more vivid dreams, and you'll start to, it just works in this beautiful way to heal yourself, and your higher self just always knows what's best for you. It's not at all what I was expecting really going into it. I wasn't thinking I was going to get relationship healing, and yet that's probably what I really needed. And that's what ended up coming through as the focal point. And I'm so glad that it did. And ever since then, my dreams have been more and more vivid. And I think a lot more people are going to be experiencing that as well, because our higher consciousness needs to speak to us right now. Our soul and spirit needs to speak to us. We need that guidance to come in.
And a lot of people are saying, some people are saying, well, we can't wait for it to get back to normal, but I don't think we're going to go back to normal. It's going to be a whole new world after this. And we have right now the power of the present moment to decide, what we want to focus on. Do we focus on fear and doubt? And because it's not an easy thing. We're being thrown out of our comfort zone, right? But we can also focus on looking at, well, what's my purpose? You know,
Hmm.
where am I going when I'm moving forward? When we come out of this, what can I focus on? What have I had not have time to look at? Because now people have a lot of time on their hands, and there are a lot of shadows coming up, and a lot of fear and a lot of doubt. So that's an
Hmm.
opportunity to deal with that, right? Shadow work, is that something that you do with your clients as well?
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah, we definitely dive into shadow work and trauma and all kinds of things like that. But the beautiful thing about this pause too is that you're able to take that time to separate yourself from that kind of 3D routine where you kind of just plug yourself in and you go 9 to 5 and you're just in the hamster wheel over and over and over. Now we're taking this pause and this break, and we get to ask ourselves in these moments, am I actually happy? Is that actually what I want to be doing in my life? Is this how I want to be participating? Is this how I want to be showing up? And you can really be asking yourself, like, what makes me feel happy, and how can I find that? How can I bring that in? So it's a really powerful time. So, you know, trying to stay out of the fear and make that deeper connection with yourself, take full advantage of that.
It's also about being able to sit back and get off the stage of our life, right? Like Shakespeare
Hmm.
said, all the world's a stage and we're merely
Hmm.
players, right? So if we can get off the stage of the automatic responses and the programs and our belief systems, and sit in the balcony or sit as the observer. And that's really what it is when you go into meditation or into visualization or a QHHT session. You sit back and you become the observer. You get out of the duality. You take a look at things from a different perspective, and then you're able to deal with all kinds of things that you don't have time to deal with. Um,
Hmm.
that's cool. So tell me just a little bit about how people can reach you and what you do, and maybe your website, and maybe your final word. And I'm really happy that you took time out with your busy day today and
Yeah.
came and chat with me today.
Oh, thank you, Renee. So if people are looking to find me, you can search Kayla Paradis on Facebook, or Keeper of Keys is my business page. And I just wrapped up an online retreat in my Facebook group. It's called Keeper of Keys Collaborative. That's completely free. You can go in there. We talk about tapping into divine guidance. We talk about releasing fear and anxiety. We talk about aligning with our higher self, and all these different things. So if you want to be a part of that community, you can join completely for free. Just type that in the search bar and send in a request, and we can kind of meet on the inside of that group.
Cool, thank you. And
Yeah.
if anybody's interested in one of my Connecting with Your Higher Self workshops, either in French or in English, I'll put links down to Kayla's Facebook and web pages, and also to my Facebook and web pages in the comments or in the description box below, and links as well to the next dates of my workshops. If you want to participate from anywhere around the world, it's very possible to do that now, and luckily we're very grateful to have internet connections, and we can still say, even if we're separate, we're still connected. We can still connect with each other even if we can't do it face to face. So I think that we're still very fortunate to be able to have that. So thanks
Mhm.
again, Kayla, for taking some
Thank
time
you.
out. And if anybody is interested as well in a QHHT session one-on-one with a practitioner anywhere around the world, when this distanciation, the social distancing thing is over, QHHT official has a find a practitioner page where you can find a practitioner anywhere around the world. And if you live in the province of New Brunswick, or anywhere in maybe the state of Maine, or in the eastern part of the province of Quebec, and you would like to come and see me, there's that possibility as well. So thank you very much. Thank you, Kayla. Everybody stay safe and stay creative, and connect with your heart, because we are all one and we're all in it
Mhm.
together, and we have the power to create the wonderful world that we want.
Mhm. Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.